Hello guys, welcome to this new video. Today we are going to do the paper 1 of June 2015 of Math O-Level. So question number 1 is a fraction question, as you can see. Part A, evaluate 1.3 plus 2.9 divided by 0.2. So let's do 1.3 plus 2.9 is what? So 3 plus 9 is 12, so 2. And we have 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 1 will be 4. So okay, that will be 4.2 for the first part. So that will be 4.2 divided by 0.2. Okay. Divided by 2, we have 0.1. That will be 2.1. And we have to move one decimal place. Move one decimal place. It will be 21. So your answer for part A will be 21. Okay, so now moving on to part B, we have a fraction question again, which is 1 over 4 times 1 over 5. So the first thing we need to do is to expand this fraction. So 2 times 4 is what? Is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. So 9 over 4 times 1 over 5. 9 times 1 will be 9. Divided by 4 times 5 will be 20. So your answer will be 9 over 20. That is question number 1. Question number 2. Write these numbers in order of size, starting with the smallest. So here we have fractions and decimal places. It's kind of hard to compare if we have two kinds of numbers. So let's convert everything to decimal place. So let's begin with this one. So what is 13 over 20? So let's times 5 and times 5. We get 13 times 5 will be what? Will be 65. Divide by 100, which is equal to 0.65. Okay, so that's the first number. Second number is 0.7, which is good. It is already in decimal place. 7 over 12, so that's the third number. So just wait a little bit, we'll find out. So the fourth number is already 0.64, and the fifth number is 5 divided by 8, which is, let's do the division. So 5, 8, what do we have? So 5, 8 divided by 8, which is 1. So 0 point, so 5 will be 6, will be 0. And then we have 48, 2 remains, will be 2, 0. And 4 remains will be 5. So your answer will be 0.625. 0.625 for this one. So this is the only one that is kind of hard to obtain, but let's find out where does it stand. So 7 divided by 12, what do we have? So divided by 12, we have 0 point. It will be, so 70 divided by 12, what do we have in 70? So 12 times 5 is 60, and 12 times 6 is 72. So it goes too far. So it can only be 5 something, right? So we know this one will be 0.5 and something remaining. So now let's compare every number. Okay, so what is the smallest of these numbers? So the first one is 0.65, 0.7, 0.5, 0.6, 0.6. So the smallest is this one, which means 7 over 12 is the smallest number in the list. And then we have 0.65, no, 0.625, which is 5 over 8. And then we will have 0.64, which is this. And then we will have 0.65, which is 13 over 20. And the last one is 0.7. And that is question number 2. Question number 3. The diagram shows a trapezium with length in centimeters. The area of the trapezium is 120 centimeters square. Find the value of B. So how do we find the area of a trapezium? So we have to use a formula. The formula is half times the sum of both sides, which is 4b plus b. That's the sum of the two sides, and the height in between times the height, which is 12. And this is equal to 120. So now we have to solve for b. So 2 goes away will be 6, 6 goes away will be 20. So 4b plus b will be 5b, equal to 20, which means b will be 20 divided by 5, which is 4. So the value of b is 4 for this sides. Okay, and that is for number 3. Question number 4. A bag contains red counters, blue counters, and yellow counters. So we know there are 60 counters in the bag. So the probability that a counter is taken at random from the bag is red is 2/5. So if we take a red counter, we have a chance of 2/5. So let's find out how many counters are red. We have to do 2/5 times 60 to find the number of counters which are red. Divide by 5, 12, 24 are red. So we have the first part. So here, if we take out a blue counter, we have a chance of 5/12. So how many counters are blue? 5/12 times 60 divided by 12 will be 5. So 25 are blue. So find how many are yellow counters. So in total, we have 60 counters, which means yellow will be 60 minus 24 minus 25, which will be 60 minus 49, which is 11. So we only have 11 yellow counters. Question number 5. Fariza travels from London to Astana. The time in Astana is 5 hours ahead of the time in London. For example, if the time is 10 a.m. in London, the time will be 3 p.m. in Astana. Right. So now she begins her journey. Here, she flies from London to Moscow and then Moscow to Astana. So it makes one stop in Moscow. The flight leaves London at 12:25. It takes 4 hours to reach Moscow. So what is the time she reached Moscow? The time she reached Moscow will be 12:25 plus 4 hours will be 16:25. That's the time she reached Moscow. Okay. So Fariza waits 4 hours and a half in Moscow for the flight to Astana. So she waits 4 hours and a half. So 4 hours and a half is 4 hours 30. That will be 5, 5, and 20. That's the time when her flight left for Moscow. So flight left for Astana. Flight take off to Astana. So that's the time it took off. So now what do we know? We know that she arrives at Astana at 5:25 local time in Astana. So now we have to know what is the time in London time. So we have to minus 5. So minus 5, it will be 0, 0, 25 London time. Right. So that is also London time. Right. So we have to find out how long did the flight take. So from 8 o'clock 55 to midnight 25, what is the difference? So we have to do this midnight, which is also 24 hours, 25 minus 20, 55. Let's find the difference. So 5 minus 5 is 0. That will be 3. That will be 6. So 6 minus 5 is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 23 minus 20, that is 3. So her flight took 3 hours and 30 minutes. And that is question number 5. Question number 6. By writing each number correct to one significant figure, estimate the value of this fraction. So here we have 3 numbers. So the first one is 29.3. So let's first ignore the power. So we have 2.04 and 0.874. So we have to rewrite them correct to one significant figure. Okay. So we have to leave the first one alone and we ask ourselves if this number is bigger or equal to 5. This one it is. Then we have to add 1 to the first one. So 2 plus 1 will be 3. And then we have to convert the rest to 0. Okay. So same thing here. Leave the first one to be the same and ask ourselves if this number is bigger or equal to 5. So this one no. So we convert everything else to 0. So 2.00. So leave the first number here and ask ourselves if this one is bigger or equal to 5. The answer is yes. So we add 1 to the first number. It will be 0.9 and the rest will be 0. So now we replace this back in the fraction. What do we have? So we have 30 square divided by 2 times 0.9. So 30 square is 30 times 30 divided by 2 times 0.9. So let's divide by 2. We have 15 divided by 3. We have 0.3. That will be 5. Divided by 3 again will be 0.1. That will be 10. So we have 50 divided by 0.1, which is, move one decimal place, we have to add 1 0, so 500. So the estimated value will be 500 for this fraction. Question number 7, y is inversely proportional to the square of x. So this gives us this equation. So y is inversely proportional to the square of x, which means y is equal to k divided by x squared. Okay, so now we have to use this information to find the value of k. So when y equal to 24, x equal to 2. So 24 equal to k divided by 2 squared. So value of k will be 24 times 4. That will be 16. 2 times 9, 8, 9, 96. So value of k is 96. So the new equation will be y equal to 96 divided by x squared. So now the main question will be find the value of y when x equal to 8. So value of y when x equal to 8 will be 96 divided by 8 squared. So 96 divided by 64. So now we have to simplify. Let's divide by 4. We have what? So divide by 4 we have 1, 6. 4 will be 2, 4. Divide by 4 again, we have 4. That will be 6. Divide by 2, we have 2 and 3. So the value of y will be 3 over 2, or 1.5. And that was for number 7. Question number 8. The Venn diagram shows the set A, B, and C. Right. So part A, list the elements of A union B. So how do we find the region of A union B? So let's draw this on the paper and we can decide. So we have A, B, and C. So A, B, C. So what is A union B? It means A and B. So A and B will be these two. So what are the elements in this and this? So let's find out. So here we have the elements of, it will be P, Q, R, S, T, and U. So that is the elements in A union B. So now next one, find B dash intersection C. So let's use the drawing as well here. So we have 3 sets, which is A, B, and C. So A, B, C. So we have to find the elements in B dash intersection C. So first, what is B dash? B dash is everything outside of B. So everything outside of B. Right. So now it has to meet with, so intersection is meeting with C. Outside of B meeting with C, what will it be? It will be, C is which set? C is this set. So outside of B, it will be this. So that is your answer for this set. So list the elements of this set which are found in this part of the circle, of the Venn diagram. So let's go and find. So that will be the set S and V. And that is part B. And this is number 8. Question number 9. Write this number in standard form. So we have to count how many decimal places we move to the right to place the point here. So it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decimal place. So your answer will be 5.21 times 10 power of minus 6. Minus 6 is because we have to move to the right. That's why it's minus 6. Now part B. Giving your answer in standard form, evaluate this operation. So we have 6 times 10 power 7 times 5 times 10 minus 3. So 6 times 5 is 30 times 10 power 7 times 10 power minus 3. So when we have indices and multiply, we will have to add them. So 10, 7 plus, because of multiplication, minus 3. That will be 30 times 10 power of 7 minus 3 is 4. So now your answer needs to be in standard form. We have to do 3 times 10 power 5. And that is your answer for part B. Question number 10. These two triangles are congruent. So what does congruent mean? It means they are the same triangle. Corresponding side are the same. Corresponding side are equal. So it is the same triangle. So that's what it means, congruent. So now we have to use this fact to find the sides and the values of P and Q. So find P and Q. So the first thing we observe is that the P is actually the angle. This angle facing this side is P. So from this, we can see that this angle is the same as this angle, and this angle is facing the side, which is P. So P is equal to 3.8. So that's your first answer. And what is the side of this angle? So it's the same, right? So this side facing this angle is 41. So this one is 41. Find the value of Q. So the sum of all the angles in the triangle is what? It will be 180. So Q is 180 minus 41 minus 62. So let's do the math. It will be 7, 10. 10 minus 1 is 9, minus 3, minus 2 will be 7. Now 17 minus 10 will be 7. So the value of Q is 77 degrees. So just to recap, congruent means they are the same triangle, their corresponding sides are equal. And here we observe that P is facing this angle, and we realize that this angle is the same as this angle, and facing this angle is the side 3.8, which means P is 3.8. And then to find the value of Q, we know that the sum of the angles in the triangle is 180, and P is facing this side. So if this side is 41, this is also 41, which means Q can be found by doing 180 minus 62 minus 41 to get 77. And that is question number 11. The diagram shows the line y equal to 2x plus 1. Okay, the point P has coordinates a, b, where a and b are positive integers. A is the x coordinate, b is the y coordinate, right? So the values of a and b satisfy the inequalities. A is less than 2, b is less than 7, and b is more than 2a plus y. So b represents the y coordinate, a represents the x coordinate. So write down all the possible coordinates of P. So we have to draw the lines on the graph. So the first is a is less than 2, which is, since a represents x, it will be x less than 2. So let's draw the line, x equal to 2. It will be this line. So from this we know that x needs to be less on this side. The next one we have b less than 7. Since b represents y, so y needs to be less than 7 on the graph. 7 is this point. So that's the line y equal to 7. And now we know it needs to be below the line. And the last one is b is, so b represents y, 2x plus 1, since a represents x. So y needs to be bigger than 2x plus 1. So it needs to be on top. So everything in this, everything inside this one will be the points of P. So because the inequalities does not have equal signs, it means they are inside the shape, which means the only possibility we have is what? So it is this point, this point, this point. And that's it. So the points P will be what? So the first point is 1, 4. Second point is 1, 5. And third point is 1, 6 for the possible answers. So we have 3 points, which can be P for question. Question number 12. Omar has a pack of number cards. He picks these 5 cards. So we have -2, -4, -2, 4, and 1. So let's rewrite them in order of smallest to the largest. So the smallest number is -4, -2, -2, 1, and 4, which is the largest. So part A, write down the mode of the 5 numbers. So the mode is the number that happens the most often. So which one happens the most, which is -2. So the mode is -2. So part B, he takes another card from the deck. We don't know what card is that. So part 1, if the mean of the 6 numbers is -1, what number did he pick? So we know the mean is -1 of the 6 numbers. So how do you find the number he picked? So how do you find the mean? The mean you find by adding everything up, divide by 6 equal to -1. So let's add everything up. So -4, -2, -2, +1, +4, and plus the number that he picked. We don't know what number he picked, but the sum of everything is -6. Okay, so we have to find the value of x. So -4 -2 is what? -6, -6 -2 -8, -8 plus 1 is -7, -7 plus 4 is -3. So -3 plus x is -6. X will be -6 plus 3, which is -3. So the number he picked is -3. Okay, that is your answer for part 1. So now part 2, if the difference between the highest and the lowest of the 6 numbers is 12 difference, what are the 2 possible numbers he could have picked? So there's 2 options here. So as you can see, the number are negative and positive. So let's say the first case, he picked a negative number, right? So let's call the number x. So the difference between the highest number, so which is 4, minus x, because it is negative, should be 12. Find the value of x. So that would be plus, so 4 plus x will be 12, which means x equal to 12 minus, so 12 minus 4, that will be 8. But that will be definitely -8 because it is a negative number. So the first answer possible will be -8 for x. So now let's say case number 2, he picked a positive number. So positive number, let's call it y. So positive number will be on this side, it will be y minus -4, which is the smallest number, equal to 12. So that will be what? So plus, so y equal to 12 minus 4 will be 8. Okay, so the largest number he could have picked from the positive side will be 8. And that is your answer for part 2. It could have been -8 or 8, positive and negative. So actually this one will have been plus. Question number 13, express 60 as a product of its prime factors. So this is very easy. So 60 divide by 2, we have 30. Divide by 2, we have 15. Divide by 3, we have 5. So 60 is equal to 2 power 2 times 3 times 5. That is answer number A. Now moving on to part B. Find the smallest possible integer m such that 60m is a square number. So 60m is 2 power 2 times 3 power 1 times 5 power 1 times m. So by what can I multiply this number, 60, so we can make the power become even? So I have to times, so this is even power, this is 1, I have to times 3 and times 5. So I have to multiply 60 by 15 to obtain 2 power 2 times 3 power 2 times 5 power 2. So the powers are even, it will be a square number. So value of m will be 3 times 5 is 15. So moving on to part C. The lowest number that is a multiple of 60 and integer n is 180. So what it means that the LCM of 60 and n is equal to 180. So 60 is 2 times power 2 times 3 times 5. What can n be? So it becomes 180. So we know that for 60 to become 180, we have to times 3, right? So one of the possible option, it's so for us to obtain 3 power 2 here, we need to have 3 power 2. So it means the value of n will be, that's the lowest value of n, the smallest possible value of n needs to be this. So it means 3 power 2 is 9, so your answer will be 9 for the smallest possible value of n. And that is question number 13. Question number 14. In a triangle ABC, AB is equal to 5 centimeters and AC is equal to 6 centimeters. Construct the triangle ABC. So we are missing the point A. So we know that AB is 5. So from the point B to A, it is 5 centimeters. So we have to use our ruler and measure the length of 5 centimeters. So use our compass and measure the length of 5 centimeters. It will be about this point. So now we have to go to point B and draw an arc of 5 centimeters from B. Okay. So that will be the arc from B, 5 centimeters. So now AC is 6 centimeter. So go back to your ruler, measure 6 centimeter, which will be about this. So now go to point C and draw an arc to intersect the first arc. So it will be here. So the point of intersection will be here, which means this is the point A. Construct the triangle ABC. So join the points A to B and A to C to form the triangle ABC. Right, so that is the triangle ABC. That's A. Okay. So now part B, measure the angle BAC in your triangle. So BAC, measure this angle. So whenever it says measure, we have to use our protractor to measure the angle. So go to this line, make it line straight on the line, and then measure the angle. So the line goes here, that's 100, and this will be 104. So I measured 104 degrees. Your answer may be 105 or 103, and that's okay. But the point is you need to know how to draw the triangle ABC from this information. And that's it for number 14. Question number 15, we have C equal to square root of 8a minus 3b. So find the value of C when a equal to 3 and b equal to minus 4. So replace the values of a and b in the equation to find C. So C will be square root of 8 times a will be 24 minus 3b. 3 times minus 4 is minus 12, which equals to square root of 24 plus 12 will be square root of 36, which is 6. That's the value of C. So now moving on to part B, rearrange the formula to make B the subject. Formula is C equal to square root of 8a minus 3b. So the first thing we do is we send the square root on this side. It will become C squared equal to 8a minus 3b. We send this one over here and this one over here. We have 3b equal to 8a minus c squared. So b will be 8a minus c squared divided by 3. And that is your answer for part B. Question number 16. These are indices. Part A. Find the value of 2 power 0 plus 2 power 3. So 2 power 0 is equal to 1 and 2 power 3 is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So 1 plus 8 will be 9. So this one is 1 over 9 power half. So what is 1? 1 can also be written as 1 power 2. 9 is 3 power 2. So power half becomes 1 over 3. And that is your answer for part 2. So last one, part B. Simplify 4x power 2 power minus 2. If the power is negative, we can make the power positive by flipping the side upside down. So what is 4x power 2? It is equal to 4x power 2 divided by 1, right? So at first we have this power of minus 2. So you want to make this positive. We have to flip this up and flip this down. It will become 1 over 4x squared power 2. Okay, so now we change the signs inside. We will have 1 is also 1 power 2, 4 is 2 power 2, x 2. Half, simplify, 1 power 2 times half will become 1, but it's power half. So 2 over 2 times power half becomes 2. X power 2 times half, power half, it becomes x. So your answer is 1 over 2x for part. Question number 17. The matrix 4, 0, 1, 0 represents the transformation T. Describe fully the transformation T. You may use the grid to help yourself answer this question. So if you see any matrix in this form, it is a stretch transformation with stretch factor k. So in this case, what do we have? We have 4, 0, 0, 1, which means this is a transformation. So T is a stretch with stretch factor 4 and y-axis as the invariant line. So you need to mention these two, this part and this part, to obtain the 2 points. So whenever you see a matrix in this state, which is K, 0, 0, 1, so this will be a stretch transformation with a stretch factor of K and with y-axis as the invariant line. Moving on to part B, the transformation T maps triangle A onto triangle B. The area of triangle B is x centimeter square. In terms of x, find the area of triangle A. So as we know that T is a stretch with factor 4, it means that, let's say for example, at first the triangle A has area 1. Triangle B will have area 4 because there's a stretch factor of 4. So now we are given that the area of B is actually x. What is the area of A? So we have to divide. So let's say if x equal to 4, what is the value of so if 4 equal to x, basically, what is the value of 1? 1 will be x divided by 4. So the area of the triangle A will be x divided by 4. So x divided by 4 will be the area of triangle A. And that is for question number 18. Factorize completely this equation. So we have p squared q minus pq. So p and q is common in both, so we take those out. So what is remaining? P minus 1 is remaining. So it is the answer. Factorize 5x squared plus x minus 4. So factorize, it is a quadratic equation. So 5x and x. So what are the factors of 4? 4 can be 2 times 2 or 1 times 4. So we cannot get plus 1 from 2 times 2. So we have to use this one, right? So let's rearrange that. So I'll put 4 here and 1 here. So we can do 5x times 1 becomes 5x. How do we get plus 1x? So it needs to be 5x minus 4x. So plus 5x minus 4x to get plus 1. So that is your answer for part B2. Now the last one, solving the equation. So we have to use the answer here, which is 5x minus 4, x plus 1 equal to 0, which means 5x minus 4 equal to 0, x equal to 4 over 5. That's the first answer. And x plus 1 equal to 0. X will be 1. So 4 over 5 and 1 will be the answer for part 2. Question number 19. Louis works in an office. For normal time, he is paid $8 per hour. So that is the normal wage he gets. For overtime, he is paid the same rate as normal time plus an extra 50%. So let's find how much he is paid for overtime. Overtime, he is paid 50%, which will be 50% of the wage will be 8, which is so 0, 0, and that will be 0.5 times 8 will be $4 extra. So his overtime wage is 4 plus 8 is 12. So $12 an hour for overtime. Okay. So 1 month he works 140 hours normal time and 10 hours overtime. How much he is paid? So 140 hours is normal time times $8 an hour plus overtime is 10 hours, which is 12. Okay, so normal time will be 4 times 8 will be 32. 1 times 8 is 8 plus 3 is 11 plus 120 it is, so will be 240. So that's how much he gets paid for this month, $1,240. Part B. Sarah invests a principal of $240 in an account that pays 3% per year, simple interest. She leaves the money in the account for 5 years. Calculate the amount of money that she has at the end of 5 years. So amount of money will be 240 plus, we have to find the interest earned, which is 240 times 5 years times 3%. That will be 240 plus, let's simplify this. Yeah, no, it will be 1, will be 2, 1, 12. So 12 times 3 will be 36. So 240 plus 36 will be what? 276. So your answer for part B will be $276 for the amount she will have at the end of 5 years. Question number 20. The time taken for 200 people to complete a 5K race were recorded. So we have a cumulative frequency curve, which is the time taken by 200 people to run that race. So now part A, use the curve to estimate the median time. So it is half times 200, which is the number of people, which will be 100 element for the median time. So let's find that. We have to use the graph. So on the graph, we have the point 100 here. We have to draw a horizontal line to cut the curve and find the time taken. So that's the first, and then a vertical line. It will be about this. Okay, so for me, I have 27. So 27 will be my answer. You could have 26, or you could have 26 point something. You could have 27 point something as well. So my answer will be 27 minutes. Estimate the interquartile range for the time. So the lower quartile will be 1 over 4 times 200. That will be the 50th element. And the upper quartile will be 3 over 4 times 200. That will be the 150th element. So let's find that. So for the lower quartile will be the 50th element. It will be here. So we have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So midpoint is here. So that will be the 50th element on the curve. Now we go down as well to find the minutes. So it will be 25 for me for the lower quartile, 25, and upper quartile will be the 150th element. It will be here for me. So I'll draw a horizontal line to cut the curve and find the value in the minutes. So for me, I got 30 for the 150th element. So the range will be upper quartile minus lower quartile. 30 minus 25 will be 5 minutes. Okay. So now part B. It was found out that the recording of the times were inaccurate, so it was wrong. The correct times were all 1 minute more than recorded, so everything has to be increased by 1 minute. Write down the median time and the range of the times. So the range does not change because everything has to move by 1 minute. So since everything has to move, the range does not change. But for the median time, it has to add 1 minute. So 27 plus 1 will be 28. And that is your answer for number 20. Question number 21, part A, express as a single matrix. So let's breathe the 3 inside first. So 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times minus 2 is minus 6, 3 times 5 is 15. Minus 4 minus 1, 0, 2. So now we do 1 by 1. So 3 minus 4 is minus 1, 9 minus 0 is 9, minus 6 minus 1 will be minus 6 plus 1, minus 5, 15 minus 2 will be 13, and that is your answer for part A. Part B, we have A equal to this matrix, 3p minus 2, 1. We know the determinant of A is 2. So how do we find the determinant of a matrix? So we have to cross multiply. So 3 times minus 1 minus 2 times p equal to 2. Find the value of p. Simplify. So 3 times minus 1 is minus 3, minus 2p becomes 2. Minus become plus. So 2p equal to 2 plus 3. We send this over this side. So p equal to 5 divided by 2. So p is 5 divided by 2. So now for the last part, find A inverse. So to find inverse of A, we need to find the determinant, which is given to us, which is 2. And find the adjacent matrix, which is easy. So we have to switch those two sides. So minus 1 goes up, 3 comes down, and switch the sign of these two. Minus 2 becomes 2, and 5 over 2 becomes minus 5 over 2. So A inverse is equal to 1 over determinant, which is 2, times this matrix, which is minus 1, 2, minus 5 over 2, 3. And that is your answer for part 2. Question number 22. The scale of a map is 1 to 25,000. That's the scale of the map. The scale can be written as 1 centimeter to d kilometers. Find the value of d. So we have to convert this into kilometers. So we know that 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters, and 1,000 meters is 100,000 centimeters. So convert 25,000 into kilometers. We have to divide by 100,000, which will be 0.25. So the value of d is 0.25. So our scale is 1 centimeter to 0.25 kilometers. That's the scale for this map. Now moving on to part B. So the distance between two villages is 8 kilometers. Find the distance in centimeters between the villages on the map. So we have 0.25 kilometers represents 1 centimeter on the map. What does 8 kilometers represent? It represents 1 divided by 0.25 times 8. So let's divide. So take out 2 0 to the right. It will give this 2 0 up, so it will be 800 divided by 25. If we take out the decimal place, it will be 800 divided by 25. So the first step is divide by 5. We will have 5, and then we have 1 3 6 0. Divide by 5 again. We will have 3 2. So that will be 32 centimeters on the map. So now the last part. The distance between the peaks of two mountains is measured on the map as 76 millimeters. So now let's convert this to centimeter. So 76 millimeters is actually 7.6 centimeter. So how do we know this? We have to just convert millimeters into centimeters, divide by 10. We will have 7.6 centimeters. So now calculate the distance in kilometers between the two peaks. So our scale is 1 centimeter to 0.25 kilometers. So which means 1 centimeter represents 0.25. 7.6 centimeter represents 0.25 times 7.6. So now let's write this down as, let's multiply the normal numbers. Let's first ignore the decimal place. So let's do 25 times 76. What do we have? So 5 times 6 is 30. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 plus 3 will be 15. 0. 5 times 7 is 35. 2 times 7 is 14. Plus 3 is 17. That will be 0, 0, 1. That will be 9, 1. So here we have 1 decimal place, and here we have 2 decimal place. So in total we have 3 decimal place. So we have to count 1, 2, 3. So that will be 1.9. So your answer will be 1.9 kilometers. Question number 23, part A. Solve the inequalities. We have minus 4 is less or equal to 2x, minus 5 less than 7. So first thing we do is we add 5 everywhere. So it becomes minus 4 plus 5 is 1. 2x. 5 plus 7 is 12. So now we divide by 2 everywhere. We have what? So let's bring this here. We have 1/2. That will become x less than 6. And that is your answer. Solving them, x will be the values between 1/2 and 6. Okay, so now part B. Solve the simultaneous equations. So the first equation is 3x plus 4y equal to 3. 2x minus y equal to 13. So I will use this one to find y as subject of formula. So y equal to 13. So y will be here, will become 2x minus 13. That's the value of y in the first equation. So now replace this in this equation. We have 3x plus 4y. Y is 2x minus 13, which is equal to 3. So 3x plus 8x minus 4 times 13 is what? So 13 times 4 will be 12. 52. Minus 52 will be equal to 3. So now we simplify. So this will become 3 plus 8 will be 11x. Send this over here. We have 3 plus 52 is 55. So x equal to 5. Find the value of y. Y is 2 times x will be 5 minus 13. That will be 10 minus 13, which is minus 3. So your answer will be 5 minus 3 for part B. Question number 24. The solid is formed from a hemisphere, which is half a sphere, of radius r fixed to a cone of radius r and height h. So we have a cone and a hemisphere joined together to form this solid. So now we know the volume of the hemisphere is 1/3 of the volume of the solid. So volume of hemisphere divided by volume of solid equal to 1/3. This is what we know. So part 1, find h in terms of r. So we have to use this information to find h in terms of r. So let's first find the volume of the hemisphere. So volume of hemisphere is equal to, we know the volume of sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. Hemisphere is half the sphere, so divide by 2. So it will be 4/6 pi r cubed, which is 2/3 pi r cubed for volume of hemisphere. Now what is the volume of the solid? Volume of solid is the volume of the hemisphere plus volume of cone. Hemisphere we know already, which is 2/3 pi r cubed. What is the volume of cone? It is given here, which is 1/3 pi r square h. Okay, so now we have Vs and Vh. We can replace in the formula to equate. So let's do that. So volume of hemisphere is 2/3 pi r cubed divided by volume of solid, which is 2/3 pi r cubed plus 1/3 pi r square h equal to 1/3. So cross multiply, we have this will become 2 pi r cubed equal to 2 over 3 pi r cubed plus 1 over 3 pi r square h. So we can multiply everywhere by 3. So let's do that. We will have 6 pi r cubed equal to 2 pi r cubed plus pi r square h. So now, if we send this to this side, we will have 4 pi r cubed minus 2 pi r cubed. It will be 4. So 6 pi r cubed minus 2 pi r cubed. It will be 4 pi r cubed equal to pi r square h. So let's take this here. We have some space. Let's take this here. So right now we have 4 pi r cubed equal to pi r square h. So let's do some simplification. So pi go. So pi r square, so becomes r. So we have 4r equal to h. So that is your answer for part A. Expressing h in terms of r, so h is equal to 4r. That is part A. So now moving on to part B. The slant height of the cone can be written as this, where k is an integer value. Find the value of k. So the slant height is this height. As you can see, we have h as this height and r as this height and l as the slant height. So let's take out the shape and we'll have a look to how to solve this. So we know this is 90 according to the shape. This is h, this is r, and this is l. So find the value of l. So we have to use a Pythagoras Theorem, which tells us l square equal to h square plus r square. So l equal to square root of h square plus r square. So we know that from the first question, the value of h is 4r. So that will be 4r square plus r square. That will be square root of 16 r squared plus r squared. That will be square root of 17 r squared. So we can take out r. It will have r square root of 17. So now we have to find the value of k. K is inside the square root, so k it will be 17. That is the value of k. So now moving on to part C. Find an expression in terms of r and pi for the total surface area of the solid. So surface area, we have the area of the cone and the area of the hemisphere. So what is the area of the hemisphere? We have to use the formula here. So this is area of sphere. Hemisphere will be divided by 2, will be 2 pi r squared. So 2 pi r squared for area of hemisphere. And area of cone is pi rl. So pi plus pi rl is r square root of 17. Okay, let's simplify. We have 2 pi r squared plus square root of 17 pi r squared. So let's factorize. We have pi r squared in common. So we take it out. We will have 2 plus square root of 17 inside. So this is your answer for part C as the surface area of the solid. And that is for question number 24. Question number 25. In the diagram, A is a midpoint of OC. So OC is this line. A is the midpoint, which means if OA is A, AC is also A. So that's the first derivation from that information that we have. B is a point on OD. So B is a point on OD such that OB is 1 over 3 OD, which means OB is 1. So OB is B, which is 1. What is the length of OD? It needs to be 3. So if this is 3, this will be, BD will be 2B. Okay, so moving on, part A, express as simply as possible in terms of A and B, the value of AB. AB will be AO, OB. So AB equal to AO plus OB. AO is minus A because we are going in the opposite direction. OB is B. So first answer will be minus A plus B. Now CD, CD, we have to go COOD. So CO plus OD. CO is what? Is minus 2A plus OD. OD is 3B. So that is your answer for part 2. So minus 2A plus 3B. Moving on to part B, we have E is a point on CD where CE and ED is 1, 2, 2, which means we have a point on CD. So the point E is on CD. And the ratio is C is 1, ED is 2. Ratio is 1, 2. Right. Now let's move on to question number 1. Express BE as simply as possible in terms of A or B. So how can we find BE? So B to the point E, we have to move B going to O going to C, C to E. Let's do that. So from B we move to O, from O we move to C, and from C we move to E. So BO is what? BO is minus B. OC what? OC is 2A plus 2A and plus, so CE will be what? So CE is 1 over 3 CD. So 1 over 3 CD. CD is this value, minus 2A plus 3B. So now we expand. So let's expand that. So this will be minus B plus 2A plus minus 2 over 3A plus B. So B goes away. So 2A minus 2 over 3. So let's do the LCM. We will have 6A minus 2A over 3, which becomes 4 over 3A. So this is your answer for part 1. So BE is 4 over 3A. So what special type of quadrilateral is ABEC? So we have the point ABEC. So let's join them and have a look. So it seems to be a trapezium. So this one is a triangle here and a rectangle in the back. So this shape will be a trapezium. So a special type of quadrilateral, it will be a trapezium. Trapezium for part 2. And that was question number